listen, we have so many great hot topics to get into. We're going to get started. Listen, look, you all, okay. Let me know, what do you all think about this right here? The young lady, her and her roommate. The roommate is a nurse. So she tested her other roommate's boyfriend for an STD. He tested positive for the STD, and then he was able to receive treatment. However, the nurse did not inform her friend and her roommate that she had tested her boyfriend for an STD, and he tested positive for an STD. So now the friend is mad at the roommate, which is the nurse, and she's like, you're supposed to be my girl. How you not gonna tell me that you tested my boyfriend and you know he came back positive? He tested positive for an STD, and you're supposed to be my friend. What type of friend are you? You're no friend because you were supposed to have told me this. And the nurse said to her friend, she's like, listen, I can't tell you that. It's not my place to tell you that because I am bound by HIPAA. This was his personal health information, and you're my girl and I love you, but I cannot disclose this type of information. So the friend goes on to say, but we're supposed to be friends. We've been friends longer than you've been a nurse, and my health is at risk as well, but you didn't inform me. The nurse tells the friend, she's like, listen, you have to talk to your boyfriend about this. I cannot discuss his health care with you. I cannot discuss this with you because, again, I am bound by HIPAA. I cannot discuss this information with you. What do you all think? Do you think that, you know what? She's like, listen, the friend is right. She's like, listen, you should have told me because we're friends. Or is the nurse correct? She's like, listen, I don't care. I know we're friends and I love you and everything, but legally, my career, I could lose my license for this. I could lose my license. I am not at liberty to disclose this man's health information to you. You have to talk to him about that. Is the nurse, which is the friend and the roommate, is she correct in telling her friend that? Or does the friend have every right to be upset with her girl? Because listen, you my girl. How you just gonna let me sit up here still be raw dogging this dude, and you know he done tested positive for some type of STD, but you wouldn't tell me? Is she responsible? Is the friend correct with saying, you know what, listen, you wrong because I would have expected you to tell me this because you know that I'm sleeping with this man and you know that he has something. Or like the nurse told her, listen, you have to talk to your boyfriend. You have to talk to your boyfriend about this. I cannot discuss his health issues with you. I have nothing else to say but talk to your boyfriend. And that's what the nurse kept telling her friend. She was like, girl, I love you, but you got to talk. You have to talk to him. And I believe she is absolutely correct. You, ma'am, you need to talk to your boyfriend because he is the one that gave you the STD. Yes, I understand that your friend is a nurse and your friend tested him and your friend knew that he had this condition. But as your friend told you, she could lose her license. If she was to disclose this man's health information to you, she could lose her license. And baby, it's not that deep. It is not that deep. Now, for me, it's a way. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate because I believe that there was a way that the friend, if I'm a friend, I'm going to try to throw some hints to make my girl go and get herself tested. I would have to, but I'm not going to disclose this man's information. But I would have to try to come up with some type of scenario. I would have to do something so that I can ensure that my girl is getting the medical help that she needs, especially since I know that she has, sleeping with this guy and he has a STD. So maybe I would have to tell somebody, that's a family or friend to talk something. I would, maybe anonymously posted something on social media, something. I don't know, because I would feel bad. Like I wouldn't put myself in position to lose my license. But at the same time, like, man, like I understand what the friend, which is the roommate, is saying. You know what? Listen, I can't tell you this, but you're my friend, you're my girl. I'm expecting you. I was expecting you to, have my back. You knew that he had this condition and you didn't tell me. So me being a friend, I would try to come up with something to try and get this information just to get her to a doctor. I wouldn't necessarily disclose or mention anything about him, but I would, do everything in my power to urge her to go and get checked out. Without, I would have to come up with something that will, lead her, that will prompt her to go and get some medical attention. But as far as the legalities of mentioning his information, it's not worth it. And I'm like, I would not put myself in position to lose my license just trying to warn you about the dirty deeds that your man is up to. Because at the same time, I believe, listen, 9 times out of 10, girl, he ain't no good. I'm like, look, if you got some suspicions, so like if she was to bring it to me, I would say, girl, if you got some suspicions, then you have to go get yourself checked out. Now, once she brings it to me, then I feel like I'm in position. Now I can respond with, well, if you feel that way, if you got that information, then you need to go and do your due diligence and check yourself out. But I don't have anything to do with that. I can't talk to you about that. But for me, I feel like that would be a way in to let her know that she could go and get checked out. Hey Cedric, how you doing? Cedric is saying she out of order for that. She can live her life. Darn those license. No, Cedric, no, I don't know now. Because I listen, I've worked too hard for this, especially if she know. Listen, this dude ain't no good. You know that he been slipping and sliding and slithering through these streets. We both know that he be slipping and sliding and slithering through these streets. So why in the world would I risk my license telling you something that you already doggone know? This ain't the first time he cheated on you, and it will not be the last time, because you ain't gonna do nothing but go and tell this man. As soon as I tell you that he gave you something, you ain't gonna do nothing but go tell him. And yeah, Patricia told me, she showed me your results, you nasty bastard. She showed me that you tested positive for this, and you didn't even come and tell me. So you didn't think enough of me to come and tell me. You had to let Patricia listen. She would have been throwing Patricia's name all up and through it. And then guess what dude gonna do? Dude gonna go and tell on Patricia, I came down here to get tested, and she gonna tell her friend that I tested positive. Now I gotta lose my license over some cheating mess that I don't have nothing to do with. First of all, I didn't even want you to be with his nasty behind in the first place. And so now I'm supposed to lose my license over the second place. And then, man, to make matters worse, I lose my license and they still together. How do that look? What the heck am I going to lose my license for when I know good and doggone well that she ain't going nowhere? I'm not going to lose my license for this. I'm not getting caught up in this foolishness. I am not getting caught up in this bull junkie. So you can say, tell that to the entire judge, tell it to the whoever you want to tell it to, but I don't think that I would be risking my license, my livelihood, to inform my friend something that I'm sure she already knows. Because again, how fair is that to the roommate that's the nurse, that she has to lose everything because she's telling her friend something, and then her friend ends up staying with the dude. So now I've told you that he tested positive for something, and now you get mad at him for like 2 seconds, and now you all are back together, but I lose my license because I told you something that I wasn't supposed to tell, and then you don't even have enough respect for me to even leave the dude alone. You're still with him, and I lose my license. So I don't think that's not going to work for me. I'm not going to lose my license behind revealing something that I know I shouldn't reveal. But again, as being a friend, I would try to come up with some type of way to inform her that something is going on and that she should probably go and get checked out. It would be something, but I would do something outside of telling her exactly, listen, your man is popped. I think you need to go and get it checked out. I would have to find another avenue of revealing that information to her, but I'm not going to lose my license over trying to reveal something that, especially when I know that they're going to stay together. If I, oh, just think about that. Think about that. Now I've told her this, and now I've lost my license. Now I'm unemployed. And then y'all back together. Y'all out here dating and living it up and all booed up. But now I've lost my license. Like and listen, I would have to fight both of them. So I done told you, you done made all this big deal. The roommate, the friend making this big deal. You supposed what you so loyal to your license, but you don't care about me as a friend. Okay, so I done told you this information. What you gonna do with it? You gonna do what you always do. You gonna go over there, you gonna argue with him, you gonna cut up, y'all gonna clown, and you gonna be right back with him. So what's the difference? So I'm like, I'm not getting in that. I'm like, listen, if you know that a couple, listen, especially if you know that these folks are toxic and they are, listen, and you know they ain't going nowhere, this is all they do, stay out of it. Let them handle it however they handle it, but you stay out of it. Let them do whatever it is that they are going to do. Stay out of it. Cedric is saying, I'm not saying drop his name, but tell her to go get yourself checked out. Again, Cedric, she can't really say go get yourself checked out because she's under HIPAA. So it's like if she was to get sued, they're going to be like, okay, well, why are you telling her to go get herself checked out? Now you're hinting at her having something. You're hinting at her having a medical condition. So she cannot mention anything like that, whether she drop his name or anything. Listen, HIPAA is very, very sensitive. HIPAA is, listen, that health information, that protective information, you can't do it. So she would definitely have to find another way. But I would have taken the opportunity when the friend confronted me with the results, then I would have been like, listen, if you feel that way, if you found that information, then you need to go do your due diligence and do what you have to do. But leave me out of it. I would have said that. Now that clears me. But what I'm not going to do is go back and forth with you over this, because the more we go back and forth about it, then now the more things that I'm saying that could be used against me, that could hurt my license and that could put my career in jeopardy. And in this case, I think that it's just best for her to just let him go ahead and do what he has to do. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? Let her do what she has to do as well. And you guys take this ish up amongst each other, but keep me out of it, because listen, I don't have any time for all of this foolishness. You all have to go check this out and figure it out for yourself. But again, do not, if you are a nurse or a doctor or a licensed nurse practitioner or anything like that, or even if you work in a hospital, listen, it's so strict. Like if you work, I work in a hospital, for a hospital. You cannot, if you see somebody information in the system that you may know, if you work that account or you work anything on somebody that you know, you could be fired, because again, you're too close to the situation. So you're supposed to have yourself removed off of those kind of cases and those type of situations. If you, maybe your neighbor, their husband, somebody, a family member name comes up, you're working, doing your job, you're like, oh, I know this person. And then you go looking into the system and trying to see what they there for. You know, because you working, because it's something that came up, and you know what, you can get fired. The system that they have And goes back to how all those people got fired over leaking Jussie Smollett's and from his medical records and his information years ago. I believe it was from Northwestern Hospital. That's because they were able to look at everybody that logged into his chart. The system, it when you log into stuff, they see everybody who has logged in there. And that's how all those people got fired, because the system tells them 25 people, 25 unauthorized people accessed this man's account, and you had no reason to do so. And now here you are. Goodbye. You out of there. You are out of there because you access. You may say, Jay, what? They work for the hospital. What you mean? They got fired. They work for the hospital, so why couldn't they access it? Because he was not their patient. He was not they were not working directly with him. So anybody that was working that wasn't directly working with him, then you are out of there. You are out of there. Adios. You are out of there because you have no right to access a patient's information, and then you go and blab it to everybody. So listen, I understand exactly what this nurse is talking about, because HIPAA is, listen, it's not worth it. So I would have just had to say, you know what, listen, you need to go talk to him. Like she kept saying, go talk to him. And if you choose to sit here and go back and forth with me, I don't have the time or the energy, because again, what you're not going to do, you're not going to project your anger because you found out he got something. So now you know he got something. So instead of confronting him and getting mad at him, you want to take it out on me. You want to argue with me, opposed to going over there and taking care of the conversation and taking care of that business with him. Don't come to me, because that's exactly what I would have to say. Baby girl, listen, let me tell you something. You need to pump your brakes, and you need to go over there and check your man. You need to go over there and have a conversation with your man, because this ain't it. This ain't it. And I still love you, but this ain't the conversation. I'm not the one, because you're not gonna get mad. Listen, she big mad. But no, you were wrong. You were wrong, and you should have did. Listen, why you spending all that time telling me that I'm wrong? Whatever it is he got, you could have it too. And you are wasting precious time. If you don't go and get yourself checked out, you're wasting precious time by sitting here trying to go back and forth with me. Elise is saying violation of sensitive information is a felony. Violation of that HIPAA is definitely, look it up. HIPPAA, HIPAA. I think it's two P's. HIPAA. HIPPA. That's what it is. Something HIPPAA or HIPPA. I should know it, because I should know how they spell it. HIPAA. I should know it. See, listen, I'm about to go get myself together. But it definitely is a violation, and it's not that serious. Hey Leo, how you doing? Leo is saying, I'm not saying nothing. Right, she get fired and they still together. Don't do it, friend. Don't do it. Absolutely, it's definitely not worth doing it, because again, you reveal this information, you lose your livelihood. You could possibly be jailed. You could possibly pay some fines for this, but you definitely losing your license, and then you won't be able to work at a hospital anymore. So it's a lot of things that can come as a result of this. And so I know, like, this is my girl, this is my friend, but we just have to find another way to handle that business, because again, it's not worth it. Now listen, speaking of handling that business, what do you guys think about this? Now listen, this lady, she moves in with her guy. He has 2 new cars. So he tells his lady she can drive. He tells her she can drive one of his cars because they're both new. But she has her own car as well. But she accepts his offer to drive one of his cars. So about a week or so, and the guy notices that her car is not in the garage. So he asks her, babe, where your car at? Why your car ain't in the garage? Where your car at? And she says that She let her baby daddy use the car because she's driving his car, the dude's car, and she should be able to let her baby daddy drive her car. Should the new man be okay with his lady letting her baby daddy drive his car while she drives her new dude's car? What do you all think about that? Should this guy be okay with this? Should he be okay? Listen, he's like, listen, yo, I got 2 cars. I got 2 brand new cars. Baby, listen, you can take one of my cars. But keep in mind, she has her own car as well. So she takes him up on the offer to drive his car. So she's like, well, listen, I'm driving my man car. My baby daddy can drive my car. The man is saying, listen, wait, what's going on? Should he be okay with that? Or does he have a right to be upset with her letting her baby daddy drive her car? First of all, I would just want to know, like, how did the baby daddy know, like, and how are you that comfortable? How do we still have that type of relationship where you can ask me to drive my car? I'm not saying that I want baby daddies and there'll be that type of drama and this and that. I'm not saying that. But I just want to know, because it seems kind of close. It seems like the relationship is still, it may still be some type of warm, fuzzy feeling over there. I'm not saying that they sleeping around or seeing each other. All I'm saying is that the door may still be a little cracked. That's what I can see. It's like, see that like this, it's a small opening, but listen, fellas, that's all y'all need is a small opening. Look, you don't need, listen, y'all don't need that much. Look, y'all don't need that much space. Listen, then before you know it, she fell right on it, and that's a mistake. Just look, just look. I ain't gonna put it all the way in, and then you fell on it. Now they got another baby on the way. I'm just saying, maybe it's far-fetched, but maybe it's not. But listen, I don't know. But for me, it's not gonna work. Leo is saying, nope, go be with your baby daddy. I'm not boo-boo the fool. Right now, how does he know? Right. And he said, right, how does he know about all the cars? She's still with the baby daddy. That's what Leo is saying. What are you all saying on here let's see, what you saying on Facebook? Hey, pretty Tasha. What do you guys think about that? Would you say, would he be wrong if he was upset for wanting to know, listen, why does mud some cuss, feeling some cuss words, why he got your car? I be like, come here, Cletus. What's wrong with you? Come here. It's a conversation gonna be had. Come here. Let me talk to you for a minute. She's like, come. Then she come and listen. Now she knows she wrong. Now she finna have to listen. Now we got to put, bada bing and bada bang up. Listen, now we got to get everything right. But see, no, baby, you don't understand. So it's 2 ways it's gonna happen. See, you don't understand. Like, he needed a ride, and his car broke down, and I let him use the car. But babe, but listen, I love you, baby. You already know it ain't nothing else. Look, you the only one for me. I'm like, yep, you sure are. As long as I got a free car over here, I'm living over here with you, and my baby daddy can drive my car. And listen, we all happy. Or she can flip out and be like, why you questioning me? Like, listen, if you get that response, the baby daddy still tapping that. I'm just gonna tell you, if you get that defensive, what? I'm grown. I can do. Wait, you what? In my house, in my establishment, you up in my establishment, and you finna tell me you grown in my establishment? In my establishment, with my name on and you driving my car, but you gonna sit here and tell me you grown in my car, okay? My house, my car, and your little boyfriend in your car. But you telling me you grown. See, for me, that defensiveness, I'm going to say that says that, you know what? if something else could be going on. Now, Cedric is saying, go stay with his then too, because you can't come back to my crib. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You just put the stuff on now, just pack it all up, nice and everything. When she go try to get in your car, you done already changed the locks on the car. You done took the key. She can't find. Babe, where the key at? See, and this is how she
I
gonna
have a
know.
question though. But what if he doesn't have a car and they have a kid together and he uses it to take the kid back and forth to the park and do
What
stuff
was
with the
he doing
kid?
before she had your car? I'm sorry, you guys. That's the super producer Earl Winfrey in the background asking a question. He said, "What if they have a kid together and he needs the car? He needs her car to go back and forth to do things for the kid." Well, I want to know, what was he doing before you got my car? What was she doing? What were they doing before they got my car? And whatever y'all doing as a family, you do it without my car. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to make these arrangements without my car. It's not gonna. It's what, baby. You don't even drive. Listen, I may decide to drive this car to Dunkin' Donuts and I come back and get in the other one and go to McDonald's. They my cars and I can do whatever it is that I want to do with them. You can't drive two cars at one time. How come I can't? Watch this and listen, you all. I'm telling you, I'm petty. I'll drive up the block, go park it right there, come back the block, get the other one, drive it up a block. That's how you drive two cars at one time. Just keep listen, cross the stop sign, run back across the street to get the other one. Listen, you drive in both of them. Now listen, it may take a little time, but eventually you will get both of your cars to the said destination. If you want any more tips on how to be petty, just inbox me at the J Spot, and that's Jaye. I have plenty of petty tips. And listen, because it's always somebody. Now listen, I love my YouTube family, but it's always somebody. I bet you, I bet you she's single. Well, I'm in transition. I'll say that. Now you figure out whatever you want that to mean. Because they be trying to, go in like, listen, honey, my feelings are not that sensitive. I come from a huge family on the west side of Chicago. So listen, my skin, I'm not that sensitive. Don't let the lip gloss get you tricked all up. My feelings don't hurt that easily. Listen, I come back from a whole family. Listen, I come from a family of doing the dozens, and listen, big forehead, big mouth. Listen, I have heard it and then some. My favorite was when before I had became a mama and I didn't have no boobies. Now I'm gonna tell you that right there, that used to take me out. But now, bada bing and bada bang, you can't say nothing. Bada bing and bada bang, they right here, baby. They right here. They right here to stay, baby. They right here to stay. So, I don't really get too sensitive about much else. But no, ma'am, back to the topic, you all. I get a little sidetracked from time to time. But, ma'am, if you got to let your baby daddy, he can't drive the car. He can't drive the car and you be in my car. That's just like him driving my car. I'm sorry. It's just like him driving my car. I'm saying it's okay for this dude to drive my car, and I'm just not okay with that. So there's something else has to give. Something else has to give, because this is not going to happen. Cedric is saying she for the streets, and then he laughing. Pretty Tasha is saying she's a sorry woman. Cedric is saying, just say woosah, luscious. Just say woosah. Listen, whew, there you go. But no. I think that I would look at, why are you guys so comfortable with this type of, how are you this close? Like, how does this conversation come up? And then furthermore, dude, what type of man, for me, that's what I want to know. Like, what type of man ask his woman for the car, his baby, and that she's got another man's car? Now, I could see, the only way that I could see this, I could kind of be okay with this. If she has multiple vehicles, so you driving your spare vehicle and you let him use your other vehicle, That's the only way I could somewhat be okay with that. But I can't see being okay with me driving another man's car and then me giving my baby daddy my car. I can't, like, and y'all know I like to live on the edge. But I just, I'm trying to see how can I justify it. And I can't justify her being able to let her baby daddy use her car while she uses another man's car that has listen, he didn't have a good time. He wasn't in that room with you all helping y'all make them kids. That's your baby daddy's responsibility. He gotta ask my dear and them, can they help him out with the car? He got the you all have to find a way. Now if the man says, you know what, that's fine because it's for your kids. It's for your kids. Then I commend that man. Like I commend that man. He's like, listen, but now just don't listen. Ma'am, if you dealing with a man like that says, I'm fine with you doing that. I'm fine because this is ultimately for your kid or your kids. I'm okay with that. But ma'am, please don't be tugging on your baby daddy schlong dong and let this man find out, because see, now you all do trifling stuff and then y'all harden these folks. Now they heart is hardened. Now they won't ever be nice to anybody else based upon because you came back and you turned out to be trifling. So please, let's not take people's goodness for kind, their goodness for their weakness, because it's just not a good look. Hey Lee, how you doing? That's my sister. She's like, hey girl, look, it's not a good look. So let's not be like that. Let's try to do something. I'm gonna say a word that we really have to bring that back, this type of trait back, because when the word that I'm about to say, some of us we don't use this word a lot, but I'm gonna say it. And listen, for some people it may be a bad word because we don't use it. But ma'am, in all you're doing, do your best to be honorable. What the yeah, I said it. Be honorable. This man is trusting you to do the right thing. Be honorable. But see, look, again, we really not living in a day and time where folk are trying to be honorable. So I'm just gonna say, ma'am, just don't be out there slipping and sliding, still slipping and sliding with your baby daddy, and then you out here driving this man's car, and then you still slobbing on your baby daddy's bob. Don't do that. Don't do that. Then you got him sitting over in your new dude car. Ugh. Would that not be the worst thing? She's slobbing on Bob in her dude's car. What he doing in this man car? What is he doing? Listen, because I'm gonna tell y'all, folks are trifling like that. Folk will have other people up in your cars. Listen, look, pay attention to how them seats be back. If the seat is rotated, and listen, you have to look at all of that. Listen, if you need tips on how to be petty, listen, just inbox me. I'm gonna start charging though 50 cents per tip though, because these are some good tips. When you in your car, you let your dude drive your car, or you letting your lady drive the car, listen, position your passenger seat, position it in a weird way, like push it all the way to the back. So therefore, if it's pushed up to the front, who been in my car? Who was riding on the passenger seat? That's the easy way to catch folks. Put it all the way back, push it all the way to the back, or push it all the way to the front. So a person can't just sit in, because if you keep your seats regular, then you'll never know that it's somebody else in your car. But people don't think like that. See, you gotta push it back. Push it all the way back, or push it all the way up to the front. And if you get in your car, and if your seat has been adjusted, it will be cause for some questions. My sister, I can't repeat that. She's dropping the F-bomb in the chat. She's dropping the F-bomb in the chat. I know what she's thinking. But listen, that's a good way to catch a person that's doing the wrong thing. Unless this is now there is a slight chance that if this is the way that they generally have their seats, then we have to figure out something another way to catch them. But that is a really good way of seeing if somebody else is in your car. Just adjust them seats in an awkward position where you know, listen, in order for somebody to get comfortable, because they're not going to just lay flat like they're a slab of ribs. They're not about to lay flat like a slab of ribs in your car. They're going to want to get up and they're going to push the seat up and they're going to adjust it so that they can be comfortable. But listen, we shouldn't have to be. Look, and I know you all are like, Jay, I cannot believe you. Well, listen, believe it. I told you all, I reside from time to time on Petty Island, and listen, it's lit over there. Like it's lit in Petty Island. Listen, listen. If you think that's something, oh, listen, get me over a cup of coffee, baby. Listen, let me tell you, I will start spilling all the beans. But ladies, if your man is letting you use his car and then he's saying that he's fine with you letting your baby daddy use the car, don't mess that ish up. Please don't mess that ish up by still slobbing and sleeping with this dude. Please do not mess this ish up. Speaking of messing ish up, you all, this story has been really hot over this last week. Now there's a rapper, and listen, I know at some point when I say his name, I know that mid conversation I'm gonna be said it wrong. So let me just get it out right the first time. Anytime anything and that I call him after I say it this time, just listen, because it's too complicated for me. Like I need these new people to have normal names. But this young rapper, and I don't even listen, sometimes it's hard to tell, are they young or is it they old looking young, or because they do so much at these ages, it's kind of hard to tell. But finesse 2 times, okay, and that will probably be the only time that I get it right. Finesse 2 times, his mother says this Bama spent over $4 million on friends, travel, jewelry, having fun, smoking weed, partying, and kicking it, and nothing on his family. That's right. She said he blew through over $4 million and did not give his family anything. What do you all think about that? Do you think? And then he's going back and forth. So the mother, she went on this long rant, and she was saying that listen, you are not gonna, the way you're spending money like this, you're not gonna have this money long, and you're not gonna have it, because the way that you're spending it. But what do you all think about that? Do you think his mom was right? And do you think that she's right to be upset with him because he has spent all that money but has not really given anything to his family? Or are you like, listen, ma'am, that's your son. Like, he doesn't owe you anything. If he chooses to blow $4 million, $10 million, that's his money to blow. And then he also goes on to defend himself. He says, listen, I've sent my mom money. And then he go ahead and he releases what he felt like was his receipts of him sending his mom money. When in fact, the money that he sent to his mom, he sent her, from what it looked like, tallying it up, a little over $4,000. He would Zelle her $50 here, $15 here, $110. And I'm thinking that she's calling her for bills and things like that, because the amounts that he was sending were odd amounts. Like he'd send $110. He'd send $60. He'd send $50, $53, $15, 75 cents. He was sending weird amounts. So it leads me to believe that, if she told him that maybe the light bill was due or she needed an Uber or something like that, he was sending her money for exactly what she was asking for for the moment, but from the receipts that he released, I did not see a substantial amount. Now, here's the deal. He could have given her a lump sum and then she spent it all and now she wants more, but he probably gave her, he could have given her that in cash. He didn't go in, they didn't get into all of that, but she's upset because he is blowing his money on friends and drinking and partying, but he has not done anything or hasn't given anything to his family. Is he entitled to take care of his mom? Is he entitled to give money to his family? What do you all think about that? Is this young man listen, I made this money because she said, I pushed you out this cooch here. You came out this cooch, okay? And you got more respect and loyalty to somebody else that ain't got and did nothing for you. But this here cooch, you came from out here, and this is how you gonna do me? Cedric is saying, oh, he ain't about ish. Now, I'm two ways on it. If this is his mother, ma'am, I don't feel like he's obligated to do anything. But on the flip side, listen, that's your mother. Why would you not take care of your mother? Why would you not? Why would you not make sure your mother is good? Why would you not make sure your family is good? Now, again, we don't know. It hasn't been said. Maybe when he first came out, because he's been out for quite some time. So maybe when he first came out, he broke his mom and them off with some money. Ma'am, if you spent what he gave you, that's your fault. He's not a bank. He's not your bank. So if he decides to blow $4 million, as Bobby Brown said, it's his prerogative. He can do what he want to do. He made this money. You didn't. Right, Fred? We out of here. That's what Bobby Brown said. It's his prerogative. So I'd like to think that he broke his mother and his people off with some money when he first came out. But let's be honest. Now, look, some people think that because you rich, that they gonna continuously be rich. You got to listen to the interviews that Tyler Perry has done, Kirk Franklin, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, all these people. Listen, even Country Wayne, all these people that tell about the tales of when they have money, how the family thinks that, listen, they're rich as well. Now, me, like, my circle gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Like, my circle will be good. But outsiders like my mom, like, you don't have to, like, there is no expiration on mom. There just isn't. There is no limit. But I'm gonna listen. But I will be like, listen, Sister Vance, let's talk. I'm gonna put you on the terrorist list at these casinos if you don't stop going up in there and giving all your money away to these casinos. You will be on the drop list, because what you're not gonna be doing is keep on going up into these god doggone casinos giving your money away. And that's what you're not gonna be doing. Put her on the terrorist list. Listen, talk to the owners at the casino. You see her coming, do not let her in. Set your cards up where if you try to go and swipe at a casino, it will be declined, because we're not going to keep on giving this casino or these boat people no money. But outside of that, you shopping, living life, we going to do this. There is no limit, because that's mama. That's my opinion. Everybody don't feel that way. And to me, sometimes, like, when people do their mom like that, I always wonder, like, okay, what's leading to this? Is it some unresolved issues? Because let's be honest, the way she listen, I'm just gonna say the way she was talking, ma'am, I don't know, like you a little scary. Like she sounded a little, little rough. Leo is saying, I would love to look out for my mom, no doubt. Leo's also saying maybe he tired of giving them money, mommy or not. I totally understand it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking, Leo, that he is tired. Leo's also saying he's not married to his mom now. Which he's not. Again, that's not his responsibility. So I definitely get it and I understand from that standpoint as well. Cedric is saying he blessed enough to even still have his mom. Exactly. My immediate circle is straight. Absolutely. I totally agree, Cedric, that he is blessed to have his mom still alive and still around. But guys, let me put a little twist on it. What do you all think about this? So in this situation, so his mom is alive and the mom is well. But what if he didn't have such a pleasant childhood? What if listen, how do you deal with having bad parents? You become rich like Oprah. She definitely had a strained relationship with her father. Look at Kobe Bryant. He didn't leave his family anything. He left everything to Vanessa. He left everything over there to her. So, what do you all say? So, what's the right thing to do when a person feels like, you know what, they didn't have the best mom? Cedric is saying, I lost my mom 39 years ago when I was 11. He needs to cherish her. And sorry, definitely sorry for your loss of your mom, Cedric. But let me ask this again. As I said, what if he feels like his mom was not a good mom and he has some unresolved issues with his mom? What about that? What about people that feel like their moms are not good moms or their dads are not good fathers and they have some underlying issues with their parents? How do you move forward with that? If you feel like you are grown people now and you feel like your parents were not the best parents for you when you were growing up, so now that has led you to making some decisions in life that maybe had you had better guidance, had your mom been there, had your dad been there, actively being a parent, actively being a mother, actively being a father, being a good mom, being a good dad, and they were there for you, maybe your life would have turned out differently. But what about for those people that say, you know what, my mom wasn't here for me. My mom was not. Listen, my mom, she sat up here. I felt like she could do better. And now they blame their mother. Like you say, listen, they constantly in trouble, but then they blame the daddy for, listen, well, you're the reason why I'm in trouble because you were never here. You were never, you were never here for me when I was growing up, or you didn't do this or you didn't do that. When I needed you, you were not there. So now I do not have the tools that I need to function as a full, whole adult. Is that something valid to say once you're an adult, and especially if your life hasn't turned out and you haven't made the best choices in your life based upon your upbringing, based upon your decisions, based upon a multitude of things, but the root of it was bad parenting? Are you valid in blaming your parents? Are adults ever valid in blaming their parents for how bad their life turned out. Because let's look at it like this. If your child life turns out great and they're just like this dope individual, you're going to want credit for that. We want credit for the success of our children. So why don't we want credit when things, or why don't we want to take responsibility when things are not working out well for them based upon our parenting? Why won't we accept responsibility for that aspect as well if things are not working out so well with them? We'll take the glory. We want the accolades for the glory, but we don't want the criticism that comes along with how things turned out for them in a negative way. Like if things did not work out for them, we don't want that accolade. We don't want to hear, "Oh, you grown. You can stop blaming your troubles on me. I'm not taking responsibility for your life and your problems in your life." Well, here's the thing. Sometimes as parents, you know what? Listen, some of this issue is your fault. Some of it, listen, and you got to be parent enough to accept that. Where it's only so many times that you're going to keep blaming me for your mishaps in life. But if we go back to the root of it, if the root leads back to you in your poor parenting, then, a conversation needs to be had. And I believe that in those type of situations, a professional conversation is definitely needed, because those are some strong emotions. Those are some strong feelings. And I believe that talking to a therapist, listen, can definitely help both the mom and the child, or the kids, help unpack some of that. Now, here's the thing. If you got more than one child blaming you for how bad their life changed or how bad their life turned out, you listen, all of them ain't gonna be lying. That's all I'm gonna say. If you got more than one child telling you that you failed, or you dropped the ball at some point as a father, you dropped the ball, or you dropped the ball at some point as a mother. If you have multiple children telling you that, you cannot keep trying to shut them down. You have to listen to that, because that's some stuff that has to be resolved. And if it keeps coming up, that means that it still hasn't been thoroughly addressed, and they still have not healed from that. Leo, you're saying that is a valid thing to say as an adult, but when you are grown, you should know what to do. But it all depends on how you was raised. Absolutely. I can agree with that to a certain extent, Leo, because if, yes, you're grown. Now you know right from wrong, yes. But if your parents didn't give you the tools to win, set you up, because they were too busy doing whatever it was. Now, if it's a parent that gave you all they had, if their knowledge was limited, but they poured into you everything that they have, I don't feel that parent is at fault, because they gave you all they had. They can only push you so far some of the time. But then you have some parents that have that natural instinct that say, "You know what? I want you to do better than what I did. And I want you to go further. So I'm going to move heaven and earth to ensure that you have everything that you need to ensure that you are equipped to win." That's a parent that has done all that they can do. But let's be honest. Every parent don't fall into that category. You can be a parent that, listen, you did not do all that you could. You did not do the best that you could, because you were out there chasing up behind some man. You was outside chasing up behind some woman. So yeah, your kids have a right. Adult kids have a right to be upset with you. But adult kids, I just said the magic word, You're an adult now. You're an adult. So, yes, your parents may have dropped the ball when you were smaller, but now it's up to you to pick up the pieces, get some help, ask people for help to help you pick up the pieces so that you can make better decisions. You cannot live in your childhood. You cannot live in, well, my mama didn't do this, my mama didn't do that, my daddy didn't do this, my daddy went that. You cannot wallow in that. We're going to acknowledge it. We're going to get some help and we're going to move on. We're going to move forward. We're going to move upward. We're not going to keep justifying our bad behavior. Well, my mama wasn't never here. My mama was out with all these dudes. My mama was always outside. My mama was on this. My mama was drunk. My dad was drunk. My dad wasn't doing. Listen, we get it. Okay? We get it. We get it. But you can still make the decision and say, you know what? I'm going to do better. I don't want to end up like my parents. I don't want to have the same story that my parents have. I want to do better. I want to put something else better out there. I want my kids to have something better. I want to have a different family legacy. I want to leave something better for my family. And then work towards doing just that. But again, parents, if you were a bad parent, you got to listen. You can't tell them, okay, I know I was a bad parent, but I done made amends to it. Now I'm tired of hearing it. Sometimes you gotta hear it until they heal. Now, I'm not saying that they have a right to disrespect you, because they don't. Listen to me, adult kids. You don't have a right to disrespect your parents. Not never. Not never. Cherish and honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long. I truly believe that. However, we're going to sit down and we're going to have a conversation. And as the parent, you need to be willing to have those bad conversations, those hard conversations, no matter how hard it hurts. You may have moved on. You're not that same. I was young. Okay, we get that. I was young. But that's not an excuse. We still have to amend and make right as much as possible the things and the bad things or the bad decisions that we did in our youth. So being young doesn't take away our responsibility for what we were supposed to have done right by our kids. Cedric, you're saying true that. It's time to look into the mirror and do some honest self-evaluation. And then Cedric is also saying, absolutely. Again, we can't get stuck there. But this is a huge, and I think that this is a huge issue in the Black community, because it's so much toxicity a lot of times in our families. And you know what? It goes unaddressed. There's so much mental illness, so much alcoholism, child abuse, molestation, all kinds of abuse, neglect. It's so many issues that run rapid through our communities. And guess what? Generation after generation, guess what people do? They sweep it under the rug. It's never addressed. It's never addressed. Grandmama and them abused your mama and them and neglected them. So now your mama and them neglected you and abused you. So now you abuse your kids and neglect them. Look, see how it trickles on? Because nobody is addressing that ish. We just toppling it on top of each other, paddling on top of each other. You wondering why you can't get right with your mama, because you ain't addressed the things that you have to address with your mother. And I'm not saying that those are easy conversations to have. But what I'm saying is that blame, if your kids are blaming you, it's going to always come back, and it's going to always keep coming up until it's properly addressed. It has to be properly addressed, because if it's not, again, the kids they're going to keep they're gonna keep blaming you, especially like I said, if you got more than one joker telling you that you responsible for how bad their life went. You responsible. I know that you want to think that you've changed, and you may have changed. You may be in a better place, but you still have to take responsibility for the young adult that's before you, for the things that you did not give them. They still are missing out. So instead of being defensive and saying that you're not gonna keep, that you was young when I already told you. Listen. Instead of being abusive, instead of dismissing those feelings, sit down and listen. And that's why we don't listen, and we're not gonna listen because it's hard. We don't want to hear that, especially listen, I'm polished together, and I got my new man, and I got my new life, and y'all grown and this and that, and I'm living my best life. But wait. We got it's some people that got a problem with your old life. They always trying to steal my joy. I ain't finna let nobody steal my joy. Whoa. Ain't nobody trying to steal your joy, but you gotta be brought to the light, and let me bring you up to speed on some things that you did that ruined my life. I have the right to tell you how you contributed to me being in my state. Now listen, with that statement being said, it's your responsibility to get yourself up out of it, okay? We're not going to blame our parents for where we are. We can't keep living on that. But we do have the right to bring it to them so that we can try to resolve it. We're not going to use, oh, well, my daddy wasn't there. We're not going to keep using that as a crutch. We're not. Oh, well, I was a single parent. We're not going to keep using that as a crutch, because you made the decision each time. Listen, swinging out the chandeliers, you made the decision. So this is a no excuse zone. A no excuse zone. We're gonna accept those hard truths, and we're gonna build from there, and we're gonna go forward. Leo is saying, I feel sorry for those kids. I feel sorry for them now, because a lot of them now are adults, and now they're lost. You can see how a lot of them, this life is affecting them, because they are adults, but they're still operating on a child's level, emotionally and mentally, psychologically. You're still operating as a kid. You have a lot of adults that are walking around here as traumatized kids. I'm going to say it again. You have a lot of adults walking around as traumatized kids. And I believe that if the parents are still alive, and if they're able to, listen, come on, let's try to help heal these people. Some of these people are so doggone angry. Baby, they are angry at the entire world. They're so angry because of what their parents did or did not do for them. How their parents either failed to show up for them, or whatever the case is. But whatever fault that they have against their parent or parents, they are taking it out on the entire world. And guess what, guys? As parents, again, I know, listen, it's hard. Jay, how you saying that? Like, what does that even have to do with anything? Like, they grown. I did the best that I can. And that may be true. That may be true. But if your child, which may be an adult now, if they feel like, listen, it's some stuff that you did that don't put them in position that they are in, I think that you owe it to them to listen. You owe it to him. I'm not going to sit up here and let nobody keep on sitting up here making me feel bad, trying to make me feel bad, trying to steal my vibe and just negative and toxic. Listen, we're not going to sit up here and try to avoid. Listen, because see, now I have to start saying bad stuff that I don't want to say. We're not going to sit up here and avoid this. If you know that you are not a good parent, you listen, and a lot of you listen. A lot of you wasn't, but you're different today. And I get that. I get that. But your kids are talking about the yesterday you. And some of you all, yesterday, you were not the best dad. You were not the best mom yesterday. Now you're striving to do better, which is all you can do, fair enough. But you still have to atone and make right for the things that you did or did not do regarding your kids on yesterday. You still have to make it right. Now, listen, you all, speaking of making it right, wait a minute. Now, listen, I have to drink some coffee real quick for this because this foolishness right here, you all, this is, ladies, this is not the way to make it right. Because what I'm about, this hot topic right here is very dangerous. And I do not recommend this foolishness, at all. There's a young lady and she's on a date with her dude. And she's live. And so she found out that the man is married. So now she's exposing him while they're on a date. She's on a date with this married man and she is exposing him. Yeah. Now see, look. Yeah, he out here with me. Yeah. Oh, now what? You want to get mad now? Why? Because you married. He's like, yo, turn the phone. Or he's like, turn the camera off, man. Get off live. Get off of there. He's asking her to get rid of, and he's getting angry because he's married. And now she's exposed him on live. Ladies, listen here. And some people do some really crazy things. But when I tell you, this is not only crazy, but it's dangerous and it's very stupid. Please don't. You are putting your life at risk doing this foolishness. Please do not do this type of foolishness at all. Please stop this. That was so, listen, he got, and I'm hoping that he didn't hurt her because her phone, definitely, he slapped the phone. He was driving, but he ended up slapping the phone out of her hand and putting her out the car. But we don't know what happened after that because the camera went, it went dead. Don't do this. Please do not do this. It is not worth it. You may say, listen, his wife needs to know about it. Listen, no, you need to leave this man alone. That's what you need to do. Karma will catch up with his behind. Let his wife find out. It's not your responsibility because your responsibility when you find out that this man is married or a man is married, your responsibility is to end it. That's what your responsibility is, to end it. It's not to expose him because you're exposing him. You're not doing anything but putting your life in jeopardy. You're putting your life in danger. So exposing him is not the key. Oh, yeah, you cheated with the wrong one. I'ma fix it for you. And then you end up getting yourself in a very, very, very dangerous situation because see, now not only is he mad at you and he after you, but now the wife is after you as well. So now you're doing all that for what? For what? You're doing all of that to break up his home. If you really felt that adamant about and had a problem with him cheating, once you found out, you should have just let it go. Don't call me no more. Don't talk to me anymore. turn your phone off, ghost them, whatever it is. But you're trying to, or you're exposing him. This stuff is getting out of hand and it's very dangerous. And I don't recommend following suit on anything like this, because again, this was pure stupidity. This was stupidity at its finest. You may say, Jay, why is this stupid? You telling them to just hide this from the wife? Listen, his wife, his marriage, his problem. You get yourself out of it. Take yourself out these people's marriage. If she, please, if she was doing her job, because so many chicks think that if she was doing her job, he wouldn't be over here. You don't know what she's doing. You don't know what she's not doing. All you know is what he's telling you. And now when you make him mad enough, you might get the bastard that he is to her. You gonna get that. But see, side chicks never understand. You got the perfect guy. You know why? Because he's not around you all day, every day. So yes, he can afford to be happy and be jovial and just be ready to do all kinds of things because he's being a bastard at home. He's being a flat out bastard to his wife and to his kids at home. But now when he get with you, and again, it could be something at home that needs to be addressed. Totally needs to be addressed. But he can't fix his marriage with you. He can't. Cedric is saying, just leave him alone. Absolutely. He can't fix his marriage. And again, it's not, you don't get any brownie points for trying to expose him. You're not doing anything but putting yourself in position to get hurt because you're trying to expose this married man. So you're putting him on live. You're putting him in a very compromising, awkward position where now his family, his friends, his co-workers, his kids even will see this. So do you know how much mental anguish? Now you're causing this person to go temporarily insane because of what you're doing, when all you have to do is leave it alone. You found out he was married. If you want to privately confront him about it, then do so. But it doesn't make any sense for you to confront him and then you're still messing around with him. Like, what's the purpose of that? What's the purpose of going live so that his wife can see? What did his wife do to you? Like, if you got some beef, you got some issues, you have an issue with him. Your wife didn't do it. His wife didn't do it. His wife sitting up there waiting for him to come home. His wife sitting up here thinking that he got to work 16 to 18 hours, but he's still bringing home a 10-hour, 12-hour check. But he working 16 to 18 hours a day, and the check ain't checking. You feel me? So whatever it is that he telling her, you don't know what's going on in these folks' marriage. And it's not your place, nor is it your business. Once you found out this man was married, it's your job and your responsibility, your only responsibility is to leave that man alone. That's it. It's not your place to tell his wife. Jay, what you mean it's not her place? It's not. You all have to look at the day and time that we are living in. You're doing more harm to yourself than you are any good. You are not, there's no good gonna come out this situation by you exposing this man, and nothing good is gonna come out of this. So please leave these men alone, leave these married men alone. And again, if you feel like you have to confront him, do it in private. But going live is going to get some people it's going to make you not be here anymore. So I would not advise, my rule of thumb, do it privately or just fade out. Like, just ghost it and just leave it be. Just leave him alone and let him go over there and find some business and hopefully reconcile with his wife. But it's stupid and it's dangerous for you to even think that you're doing him a favor by exposing him. Now, listen, speaking of exposing, what do you all think about this? Now, she said this some years ago, and I don't know if he actually has taken her up on it or now maybe he's considering it. But you have Tammy Roman. She revealed that she gave her husband permission to have a child with another woman if he truly wants kids. She explained that due to her health and personal choices, she wasn't in position to carry another child. But she wanted to give him the experience she wanted to give him the opportunity to experience fatherhood if that was something that he desires. What do you all think about that? Ladies, would that be something that you would be open to telling your husband? Like, listen, I know I'm at the point where I can't have any kids anymore due to age, maybe health reasons, or maybe just a decision. Now, if it was a decision that I made and it had nothing to do with health or age, if I was able to do it, then I don't think that this would be my option. But if it was health related or due to age, you can't, she's like, man, I can't carry kids anymore. Would you give your husband the okay to go and have kids with another woman if he wanted to have his own biological kids? Because her husband, he's younger than she is. That's the first thing. And he does not have any children of his own. Tammy does have some children, but he doesn't have any children. So she's like, listen, I want him to experience fatherhood. I want him to be able to experience being a father. So I'm okay if he goes and have kids with another woman. Ladies, would that be a conversation that you would be willing to have with your husband? Fellas, would you take your wife up on that opportunity to go and have kids with someone else? Cedric, you're saying that's a dangerous game to be playing. I'm not sure if you're talking about the lady revealing, the husband, the cheater. Ladies, would you be okay with that? So I'm looking at it like this. Okay, so here's the thing for me. I would, hear me out. Oh my God, I cannot believe you said you would. Yes. If he didn't have any kids, then I would want him to be able to experience fatherhood. However, I didn't say you go out and screw some other chick. There's other ways listen, we can get a surrogate, or listen, if you want to go a cheaper route, listen, you can put your kids in a cup. We can go give her the old incubator. Listen, it's a lot of ways to do it without you having to touch her. That's all I'm saying. You ain't sticking it nowhere but in me. However, I'm okay with you having a baby, understanding that we're going to set it up so that everything is done legally. But I wouldn't, going forward, like, would I want to willingly put myself in that position? I won't, because it's a lot, it's a lot that goes along with that. It's a lot go along, who's to say that he may not start having feelings for this woman that's having his kids? It's like having kids, that whole dynamic is just different. Because here's the thing, if this is his first time being a father, and let's say, okay, you know what, they're doing it my way. They didn't do it, she was artificially inseminated. Okay, so they're doing it that route. But guess what? He still wants to be a part of the process. So now he's bonding with her as the baby is kicking and her feet are getting swollen and she's having cravings and just all these things Or are you saying, Tammy, that listen, he can have a kid biologically, but I'm not giving him permission to go and be a part of the process. I'm not giving him permission to do that. Cedric, you're saying surrogacy or adoption. Both of listen, that's definitely that's a very iffy. It's a very you playing with fire right there. In that type of situation, you are definitely playing with fire. But again, I would say that if you are doing this and this is something that you intend on considering or she's considering, I hope that she has looked at it from all of the angles that you can possibly look at these type of situations from. I hope that she's looking at it from these angles. And she's been talking about this for years. So I'm sure that at this point, she's adamant about her decision and she's made up her mind and she's weighed the pros and the cons of allowing him and giving him permission to go out and have a baby with someone else. But again, even if you don't physically do it, because again, I'm not giving you, wait, Cedric is saying you pretty much are giving him permission to cheat. As I said, no, you will not touch her. You can go to your favorite channel on Pornhub, put your kids in a cup or put them in an the little turkey baster. You can put it in a condom and let her squeeze it up into herself. Whatever you choose to do. But if you touch her, that's it. You gonna have to find you somewhere else to stay. You gonna have to touch her. If you touch her, you gonna have to find somewhere to live. I'm not giving you permission to touch her. But again, I'm giving you permission to have a kid with another woman because I'm not able to give you that because of health reasons or her personal choices. She's just done having kids. Hey Maurice, how you doing? She's done having kids. And again, she has definitely openly spoke about this for quite some time. But sir, you know who you're married to. So please tread lightly because she's known to throw a champagne bottle for less than this. So just be very, very mindful of how you proceed forward if this is something that you decide to do. Leo, you're saying she must be a glutton for pain. LOL. God bless her. She has to be, or she might just be like, you know what, listen, I love him and he wants kids and I can't give him kids. See, this is why you have to talk about this type of stuff up front so that you can prevent getting in these type of situations. This is why I always say this is one of the questions that I say should be asked before. And y'all look at me, y'all was telling me last week I'm crazy, or you shouldn't ask that up front. But this is totally a legit question to ask because now look, they're married. This is something that should have been talked about beforehand because now I know that there's a huge deal breaker on the table for me between us. I cannot, for whatever reason, or I will not have any more kids. That right there is a deal breaker. That should have been, if that's what your thing is. But we don't like talking about those things because again, oh, I like him, I like the way he feel, I like the way she feel, I don't want to run them away, I don't want to lose them. But now you end up getting with somebody and you say, Jay, so are you going to throw a whole relationship away because he want kids and I don't? Yes. It's not throwing it away. It's you're being fair to and you're being true and fair to yourself because you know what your stance is, and you're being fair and true to him because you know what it is that he's expressing that he desires. And you already know that that is a deal breaker for you. So a deal breaker, that means now, you know what? there's no need for us to go forward because this is something huge. It's huge. You want kids, I don't. You want more kids, I don't, because I don't want to, or I can't, or both. But that's a recipe right there. That's a big issue. That says now, Jay, if 95% 99% of everything else is together and we vibe on all of that other stuff, are you saying that we throw our relationship, you throw a whole good relationship away because of this? For me, I look at it like this: better now than tomorrow, because it's only one or two things that's going to happen. Either I'm going to change my mind or they're going to change their mind. But with people changing their minds about their deal breakers, see, the dangerous part of that is that it's going to lead to resentment. Somebody's going to end up resenting somebody because the decision was made, because now we're in love with each other. Now we don't want to break up with each other because we're comfortable with each other and we've built a life. But you know that I didn't want any more kids, and you know that I wanted kids, and we still ended up staying together. And now here we are. I haven't changed my mind. He hasn't changed his mind. Now you're stuck. So for me, it's better. I would rather cut the cord right now than wait till we're all in love and we built all of this just to end back up where we started. I didn't change my mind. He didn't change his mind. Now here we are. We're breaking up over what? Our deal breaker. Our deal breaker, something that we knew up front that had the potential to ruin us, has eventually boomeranged back, and now it's ending us, and now it's causing so much heartache and so much pain, opposed to if we would have just cut it in the beginning and went our separate ways, cut our losses. You may have been able to find someone that is on the same page with you, and they would have been able to find somebody that's on the same page with them. So you all, I say that to say, let's start having the hard conversations. It's like you have to have those hard conversations up front, because again, you putting yourself in position to get your heart broke 3 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line, and ain't neither one of y'all still change your mind. Craziness. Craziness. Now listen, you all, speaking of craziness, tonight, guys, listen, we're going to get into tonight's conversation. Now here's the deal. Some people think cheating is just about sex, about doing the horizontal mambo. But oh no, baby, let me tell you, the game is deeper than that. So tonight, guys, we're going to be tackling a hot topic that some that have, listen, that have some folk in their feelings. Tonight, we're talking about emotional cheating versus physical cheating, and which one hurts more. Which one hurts more? Which one cuts deeper? Which one is harder to forgive? And do both affect relationships and marriages? Now listen, guys, if you want to talk to me, you can continue to talk with me on Facebook, or if you want to talk to me on the phone, hit me up 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. Now listen, some people swear that physical cheating is the ultimate betrayal, while others say emotional cheating is even worse. But here's the truth. Both of these things can definitely ruin relationships and marriages. Listen, if you're sticking it in, that can ruin it. If you telling her, only telling her you thinking about sticking it in, and you're telling her you care about her and all this other stuff, both of them can ruin your relationship, and they can ruin your marriage. Now, according to an online source, emotional cheating involves forming a deep emotional bond with someone outside of your relationship in a way that replaces or threatens your partner's role. Listen, you out here getting all emotionally involved with this chick, you telling her how you feeling, you telling her, what's going on in your house and your marriage and or your relationship. You're telling her all what's bothering you. You're telling her your goals and your dreams and your aspirations. Hey Gretchen, how you doing? You're telling her your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. All you're telling her the things that you fear. You're telling her all of those things. All the conversations, you're telling her, man, what you want to do. You want to have a business. You want to do this. You want to do that. You're telling her all the things that you should be sharing with your wife or your partner. You're telling this man all of the things. Man, I just wish that I could get some support. I'm trying to build this business. I'm trying to go back to school. I'm trying to do this. I'm scared. I want to do this. You're telling this man all these things, all your fears, your hopes, everything, the essence of who you are. You're sharing that with somebody else. You're telling these people things that you've never expressed to your mate or to your spouse. Oh, let's not talk about your secrets. You're telling them all of that. You telling them what makes you tick. You checking on them. You want to see how they doing. But I never touched them. Physical cheating involves sexual contact with someone other than your partner. Now, here are a few signs of emotional cheating. Now, look, before I read this list, if some of you all just listen and just watch, okay? I'm just saying, just listen, okay? We're going to listen. And I don't go by the slogan of we judge, we listen, not judge. I'm going to do both. I like to listen, judge, and talk crazy. So you're going to get the whole plethora over here. So don't think that I'm going to butter you up. We're going to, no. This is a judging zone. Cedric is saying cheating is absolutely mental first. Once you've cheated emotionally and mentally, the only thing left to do is physically do it. I totally am on one accord with you on that, Cedric, because that's the gateway. That physical, that emotional, that's the gateway. That's the gateway to physically falling on that thing or falling up into that thing. That emotional cheating is the gateway to that. But here are a few signs of emotional cheating. You're secretly texting, calling, or DMing someone you're emotionally invested in. You're sharing intimate details about your life that you don't share with your partner. You're developing an emotional dependence on someone outside of your relationship or your marriage. Let me just stop right there. You need to talk to them. You get an attitude if you don't get to talk to them or you don't get to hear their voice. You miss them. What? You got a whole wife and you missing this other woman? You listen. Here's how deep it can get. You on the phone with the other chick. Y'all just talking though. And your wife call. You send your wife the voicemail to keep talking to this chick. Woo! I done said something right there. You ain't never touched her, but you don't think you're doing nothing wrong. But you just chose this other woman over your wife or your girl, the chick that you supposed to be promised and committed to. You just chose somebody else over her. Your wife calling and calling, blowing you up. But sis, You an old girl, because that's what we're gonna call an old girl. Y'all in a good deep conversation. You not even going to answer the other line because you don't want to break that connection. Pretty Tasha said, I truly believe in emotional cheating because some men will have it in their heart to one another woman when they are married. Even they be fantasizing. Absolutely. Hiding the friendship or the connection from your partner. She don't even know that this woman is bringing you lunch every day. She don't even know that. She don't even know that this woman is picking your clothes up from the cleaners. She don't even know that this lady is washing your work uniform. Your wife don't know none of this. When you get home, you never hungry. You never in the mood to talk. All you want to do is shower and lay down. Or wait till your wife go to sleep so that you can get on the phone and start texting old girl. That's all you want to do. All you want to do is be around them. All you want to do is hear their voice. But it's harmless though, because I ain't never been to her house. She ain't never been to my house. We ain't never went out nowhere. So it's harmless. So we ain't doing nothing about. We ain't doing nothing wrong. But your man or your woman don't know about this relationship. Your man or your woman don't know about you talking to this person. My man or my woman, they don't have to know about everything, every aspect of my life. But how come this other person do? The other person know everything about you. Everything. The other person can literally blow your spot up because you've invested and confided so much in them. You at this point trust a stranger more than you trust your husband or your wife because you've revealed everything to an outside person. You share intimate details about your relationship or your marriage to them. Again, you guys are having the utmost personal conversations. You're sharing, they're sharing, you are connected. You guys look forward to it. Look forward to your time talking to each other. You take the long route home just so that you can be on the phone with him. You not doing anything. Oh, babe, I'm gonna stop and get dinner. You take the long route home. You're doing all that just so that you can continue to talk to them. You don't want to miss a beat. You text each other every night. Good night. You text every morning. Good morning. How was your day? You're checking on them throughout the day. Meanwhile, you haven't checked in with your wife. It's been months since you mentally checked in with your wife. It's been months since you mentally checked in with your husband because you're so wrapped up in this secret emotional situation. But Jay, I never touched her. But Jay, I never touched him. Okay? But how do you feel? How you feel about him? It don't have to be sexual all the time. If something were to happen to him, you'd miss him. But meanwhile, your wife over here trying to figure out where you've been. Yeah, you're physically there. But like the song used to say, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town, messing me around. Yeah, y'all know the song. Now, the next one. Here are a few signs of physical cheating. That's when the sexual contact with someone other than your spouse, it may or may not involve an emotional attachment, but it's often fueled by attraction, opportunity, or impulse. And it's usually hidden due to fear of consequences. Now, I'm going to have to push back on that part because nowadays, some of these folks are brave. They don't care about any consequences. Some of these folks, they want you to find out. They don't care if you find out. They really don't. Some of these jokers that they will screw them right in their marital bed. Yes, they will, and will not think twice about it. So, cheating, whether it's emotional or it's physical, it still destroys the trust. It destroys security. It destroys the intimacy between the couple because there's a wedge now. We used to be this close, but now we've made room for somebody else, whether it's emotional or physical. Physical, I done hit it and listen. Now I done broke that bond with my person. But when it's emotional, for me, I think that the gap is much wider when it's emotional. Now, when it's physical and emotional at the same time, like you love the person that you sleeping with, just listen. Do Jay a favor. Don't ever waste my time. Ooh, don't ever waste my time putting me through no ish like that. Leave me alone immediately. Okay, leave me alone because that is some bull right there. How you gonna fall in love with somebody else and then you sleeping with? Whoo! So you just go up and replace that person. Why not just leave? I know some people may say it's cheaper to keep her, but okay. But for me, I believe that the emotional, both are bad, both are hurtful, but I believe the emotional creates a huger and a bigger gap and a bigger separation. You let her hear. You let her access some place that was only supposed to be for me. Your heart is no longer off limits. Your mind is no longer off limit. I can understand. I'm not saying that I will condone it, but I can understand. You could be like, man, babe, I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry that I slept. Like, man, like, I don't even know her birthday. Like, I don't know nothing about this chick. But man, yo, she had a fat, and man, I'm just gonna tell you. And she gave some fire head. Like, I could not, like, I'm sorry. Look, and I know I was wrong, man, but I just fell into temptation. Although it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. And I'm gonna be ticked off. I'm gonna be peed off. I am. But the other side of the scenario is, man, babe, listen. I never touched her. You find his phone or you open, he leave his laptop open and you see all the messages between them. 6 months. She care about him. He care about her, but they never touched each other. They telling each other, I love you. Let me find out that I'm hurt. I'm destroyed. You have just emotionally dismantled me. I can't trust you. I'm done. Like, how could you let somebody 6 months of you lying in my face, 6 months of you being distant, 6 months of you letting our relationship and our marriage suffer, 6 months, but you're investing and you're watering and you allowing something else to grow? I'm hurt. I'm hurt. You let somebody come in between what was supposed to be sacred between us. You let somebody else in. How do I come back? How do you expect somebody to come back from that? How do you come back from an emotional cheat? You again, I'm not saying that the physical cheat, he cheated, because again, she looked good. If I had a schlong dong, I probably would have want to tap it too. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, because some of these ladies, listen, you just want to see what's going on up in there. That's the one case. But for him to say, but I never touched her. Oh, you never touched her physically, but you let her somewhere that was supposed to be designated for me. You let her into your heart. You let her into your mind. You started caring for her. You promised to love me and care about me, but you gave that to somebody else. So, again, both are great offenses, in my opinion, but that emotional, for me, that would be a tough one to bounce back from. That will be a tough one. Again, the cheating, the physical cheating, if it's a one time, but again, if you're having an affair, then that's something different. But when we're talking about cheating, emotional versus physical, again, they both hurt. They're both equally as hurtful. They're both are equally as damaging. But whether it's emotional or physical cheating, they both leave scars. Physical cheat, cheating and that betrayal may shock you, but the emotional betrayal and the emotional cheating can literally rock you to the core. And again, guys, we got to keep in mind when we doing ish like this, like when you ready to be out, listen, before you go bringing somebody else in, try having a conversation with your partner. But guys, listen, take care of yourselves and each other. And again, listen, tap in with your partner. Make sure you stand connected to the people that you're supposed to be connected to. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe our channel. That's the J Spy Radio. Go to Facebook, like and follow us there, the J Spy. Instagram, J Spy, Jaye, for all three. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much. Good night, 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 good night. Good night. Good night, you guys. Good night. Thank you. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, 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 good night. Good night, you too. Thank you. Good night.